So what wasn't considered and didn't need to be considered in this, I'm assuming, is the extra debt load personally because of the home equity.
No, that's not true.
No, that's not true. So they needed to consider
So
that
they
as
needed
well?
to be able to service that debt if the super fund didn't pay.
Right. So, but that was still separate to the transaction of the loan for the super fund, or was it included in all in one?
Separate.
Okay.
Because the loan for the super fund is separate to the personal.
Right.
Yeah.
So we've isolated that across there. The money's come in as the loan for the deposit.
Yeah.
So yeah, talk to us about then the serviceability for the home equity loan. So you mentioned then if the super fund doesn't pay, essentially they're servicing it on their own.
Which seems weird because you think, well, if I get a rental property.
Yeah.
But the fact is that many banks will not accept a loan repayment to you. Like if I lend you $200,000,
Yeah.
and you say I'll pay you back $2,000 a month, I can't then go to the bank and say he's repaying me $2,000 a month. Can you include this in my servicing?
Right.
They don't accept third-party loans as income.
Only loans involve themselves that they like looking at, right?
Well,
the banks.
You could say, well, that's your income stream.
Yeah.
And they would say, too bad.
Yeah.
So we make the rules.
Right.
So no, that's not included. So we needed to make sure that within their own personal servicing, they had the ability to draw down another $300,000 or so within the capability of what they could service without that repayment coming in.
That's a big ask because if you bought an investment property or something directly,
You'd have rent.
That's right.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but in this case, they needed to have a sufficient personal income to service another 300 grand's worth of debt load.
Okay.
Yeah. And they did.
Yeah.
They did. Yeah.
So, okay. So that's a tricky part of that transaction. So coming back to the super fund transaction. So it's got this extra money now as a deposit. So you've ticked the box, you've got deposit, you've got serviceability.
Yeah.
And then it was all smooth sailing?
No. So, no, because commercial transactions have a lot of moving parts and superannuation transactions have even more moving parts. Both of the members had retail super funds.
As well as the self-managed super fund? No?
They had to set up the super fund.
Okay, so beforehand.
Yes. And then we had to roll the money from the retail super funds.
This would have been a super quick transaction. So how long?
It was a very tense transaction.
That would have taken months.
It took a couple of months, yes. Yeah.
Right.
But people don't know that necessarily when they go and buy a property and say, I want to set up a self-managed super fund at the same time.
Right. So they didn't have an SMSF before they identified the property?
It was determined that they were going to do that.
Sure.
And the setup did occur because they did talk to us and their accountant about it.
Yeah.
However, the delay was that for one of the members, the retail super fund just took a long time to roll the money in.
Well, they don't like sending it out.
No, they don't. And unless you have someone on your side, like a financial planner or an accountant or someone who knows what they're doing, you will struggle to go through their process of getting the money out. So that money came in very close to where it needed to be for settlement, but it was on its way.
Wow.
So we had to navigate the fact that it was there but coming.
Yeah.
It could have affected settlement. I think there was about a week in between the money hitting the account and settlement. We'd already had documents signed.
That's pretty tight.
Very tight. I mean, obviously, there could have been a situation where we were asking the vendor for an extension. In fact, we did ask for one extension on the finance because the valuation took longer than was forecast at the time. Even though we forecast at least 14 days, I think it took 21 days.
Right.
And sometimes it's a case of the valuation firm is busy.
Yeah, well, everyone's busy, aren't they?
That's right.
From the lender's perspective, let's say the SMSF lender, they didn't care that it was a newly created super fund. That doesn't mean anything.
No, because it's about the contributions and the thing is that if you look at this transaction on paper at the start, we don't have a super fund. Yeah. We don't have enough deposit.
I know.
And we don't have enough contributions.
That's what I'm thinking. Like this is we're nowhere, right? And yet it all got pulled off.
Yeah, I guess it's just a bit of extra knowledge in terms of, running a number of these transactions and what can be done.
Yeah.
If you were presenting it to someone, so had the clients gone straight to the provider of self-managed super fund lending on their own directly, that provider might not have come up with that solution.
Sure.
They may have said, they might have said, you need a deposit of this. Go and see your accountant about how you get that.
Yeah.
You need to have this much money in there. Your contributions need to be Y, So it was more around the advice and working with their advisors that was helpful in this situation, because the client needed to achieve the goal. It was a case of how we're going to achieve it. What are the things that we could do to help them do this?
And where did you sit in this? I mean, you like sitting as the financial project manager. I mean, did you introduce these other advisors? Did the client already have them? Like, where was all that?
No, we had a relationship with the advisors.
Yeah.
They actually referred the clients to us.
Okay.
And they referred them to us quite some time ago for something, I think it was a car finance.
Right.
We got to talking to them about what they wanted to do about their business. In fact, after this was done, we also got them a loan. The business got a loan for the fit out of the premises. So not the SMSF fund,
Right.
but the business itself took on a fit out loan.
So there's 3 distinct siloed entities here. Like there's personally with the refinance of the house and the serviceability around that. There's this self-managed super fund with the serviceability around that. And then the business loan for the fit out and the serviceability around that.
Yeah. So all of those pieces need to be put together.
It's not a simple. It's a complicated transaction.
Yeah, and self-managed super funds are complicated already.
Yeah.
Fortunately, people in our organisation have a lot of knowledge around that. I'm not saying it's me.
You've definitely got a few years on the board there, so you should have some good knowledge.
I'm aware of it.